Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to today's video. We're going to be talking about Hurricane Ian and its impact that it's going to be making on Florida and parts of the southeast coast over the next several days. Now, today is Tuesday, September 27th. It's about 10:15 o'clock in the morning when I'm making this video, and Hurricane Ian has officially crossed over the country of Cuba, island of Cuba, which is off the map obviously down here, and is re-emerging into the Gulf of Mexico as a Category 3 storm of winds of 125 miles per hour. Now, impacts over the next several days obviously are going to be concentrated on the western part of southwest Florida, anywhere from basically Naples up to the Tampa Bay area and places in between, and then going into the inland areas as well. So if you live anywhere basically south of the panhandle of Florida, you're going to feel a lot of the impacts over the next several days. Today is Tuesday again. A lot of the impacts are going to be starting to be felt later tonight, tomorrow, and then obviously Thursday is when we're expected to see landfall somewhere around the Tampa Bay area or maybe slightly south. A lot of the models are projecting more of just a slightly southern track of Ian. So it looks like right now maybe Tampa and Tampa Bay are going to escape the worst of it. Don't let your guard down though, however, it looks like the modeling is trying to push this storm slightly more south into more of maybe the Sarasota area, Fort Myers area. However, it is a large storm. A lot of wind is going to be happening all across the southern and central parts of Florida Thursday, Friday, and going into this weekend, and we're going to see a lot of rainfall. Places are going to be picking up 6, 8, 10, up to a foot of rain in lots of these areas just north of Naples. Again, Sarasota, Fort Myers, St. Petersburg, Tampa, and then going inland as well, including Orlando, and then all over onto the other side of the coast as well. So the whole entire state of Florida, unless you live on the panhandle and everything, is going to be felt by Hurricane Ian. And this could be a historic storm, as we have not seen a storm like this since Hurricane Charley all the way back in 2004. Now, Charley was a lot smaller storm. Ian is a much broader, more bigger storm, and the wind field for tropical storm force winds go out over 100 miles per hour from the center in all directions, basically. So, I mean, Florida itself, it's more of a skinnier state and everything. So you're going to be feeling tropical storm winds all over the place in Florida. So make sure you have your preparations today on Tuesday. It's like the last day to do so. And if you have to evacuate during this time, just make sure you just move a little bit inland, little higher ground and everything. You don't have to be going all over the country and everything to evacuate from the hurricane. But as long as you're away from the coastline, low-lying areas, a little bit higher ground, that's where you're going to want to be more safe and secure. Now, over this weekend and everything, the track of Ian is still unpredictable. However, it looks like it's going to be crossing over Florida, basically, and it may merge over into the southeastern part of the coastline off of Georgia and the South Carolina coast over this weekend, but we're not sure yet. The main threat right now is Florida. So, again, over the next couple of days, if you live in Florida, obviously you know what's going on. Just make sure that you're taking it seriously. Storm surge is the #1 killer in hurricanes and tropical storms, and we are expecting to see storm surge of about 3 to 8 feet along the western part of Florida, anywhere from basically like Clearwater, Florida, all the way down to Fort Myers and Naples. So again, population, wise, it is, a few million people, in the zone that could see a lot of storm surge. So just make sure that you're moving inland away from the water and everything. If you have boats in the marinas, make sure they're either tied up or you bring them out somewhere else so they are secure and, you can secure your property and everything so you don't have damage. So that basically is the gist of Hurricane Ian. They are forecasting it to possibly come up to a Category 4 storm before it slightly diminishes and makes landfall somewhere early Thursday morning. However, again, it is a big storm. It's a dangerous storm, and do not take things lightly with Ian, because it is going to be plowing right through parts of basically central Florida, and you're going to feel a lot of the effects up and down on both coasts, the west coast, and then obviously on the east coast as well. Lots of rip currents, and when the storm makes its way over land, A lot of times, when the storm comes back over to the eastern part of Florida this go around, it looks like that the northeast winds are going to be pushing water inward. So places from like Jacksonville going down to St. Augustine, Daytona Beach, you actually have coastal flood advisories or coastal flood watches just because of the fact that we're going to have wind coming onshore over, the weekend. So we are going to see some water build up there. Again, from where we're going to see the landfall, we're not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure where it's going to go, but it is going to be moving northward into the southeastern part of the country. So if you live from eastern Georgia and going into the Carolinas and southeastern Virginia, this weekend it's going to be pretty wet, and it could be breezy as well. More details on that to come up. But again, Hurricane Ian is making its historic track into the Gulf of Mexico now and aiming right toward Florida's west coast. Stay safe, make sure you have everything prepared as you need to be, and I'll be back again with another update very soon.